Hey guys, it's Jalen
And Jake.
Jake's here for pros and cons of episode
2.
We're doing it on a deck he's familiar with, Dragon Knights.
Yeah, Dragon Knights. One of those offbeat decks that you don't see too much unless you're in Mexico.
But pretty much the deck is pretty okay. It's another variant of Dragon World outside of Armor Dragons. Yes, there's dragons outside of Armor Dragons.
I know, right? I didn't think it was possible.
No, but it's real, man. You have the deck, and it's good.
The deck is real. The struggle is real.
The struggle to play anything
The
but
struggle to recognize my passion and awesome playing skills.
Pretty much we're going over the pros and cons. I'll be doing on the cons because I'm more of a bad person. I'm not really that great of a person, but Jake's better than me. So he's going to work on the deck's pros because, of course, he would know the deck better than me. Someone like me.
So, Dragon Knights, an offbeat deck, like we said, is very good. Is very good for going turn 1 plays. You have things like Dragon Knight Rudel, where you could summon it, and you use its effect to return it to your hand, ditch a Dragon Knight, which is great because it stacks up the graveyard, which is sometimes good depending on the card, and you deal 2. You just burn for 2. And then you can call it back out with the 2 gauge you just started with, and then attack for 2. So you've dealt almost half their life in a turn. In just turn 1.
Yes, but even cards like Rudel, who are pretty good at even doing burn damage and help you going for more damage, there's still the problem with the deck having plenty of weak monsters. We got cards like Masamune, which is pretty much just systemic Dagger Dragon, and then we've got other cards like Maximilian, we've got Red Baron, we've got plenty, and Quixote. He's got 2 good crit, but he's pretty weak as well. But these cards are good, but it's just the problem that they're also weak. So it's just really hard for them to sometimes deal with bigger monsters. But you can go over to the next.
But if you have turn 1, there's also Dragon Knight Nobunaga. I swear to God, one of the easiest monsters with 4 crit in the entire game. Rudel, and then Nobunaga, and now you've taken out the majority of their life, rather than 4. You've taken out 6. And if you can magically have Dragonic Charge, which nobody plays, you can actually the game.
So the deck has pretty much open plays, which is another pro.
Yep. Great at monster removal. There's no themed monster removal cards, but it provides gauge so fast, it just works great with, hey, I just blew Dragon Shield. Hey, I just Quixote'd or Dragon Knuckled. Hey, why don't I next turn screw you over with my Dragonic Thunder? It always works.
The generic cards that every dragon can play. Dragonic Thunder,
Dragon
Breath, Dragon Flame. Anyone you want to name, they got those at their disposal. At the same time, they've got that size 2. I'm sorry, I just don't have
Irumoto is a size 2. Now, while a creature is really only good for its 3 crit, which nobody gets really that much of a chance to use, you turn it sideways and you just kill one thing on the field. It's just gone.
You rest it and you can destroy any monster on your opponent's side of the field as long as you have another Dragon Knight.
Now that could be the set spell. It could be another Dragon Knight monster. As long as there's something else that's permanent with Dragon Knight attribute on your field, you can rest it and boom. It's like nothing. Demon means nothing.
So it has a good removal against size 3s, which is a really good thing.
Demon and Seeger and Tempest, Seeger Tempest mean nothing.
But like you said before, this deck is good, but the thing is, it plays Gargantua because their themed impact sucks. I am technically aware of it, and I know what it does, but
it's basically you have to have a Gao formation, and the 2 monsters on your sides have to be Dragon Knights. Then you may blow up shit on the field, but it only deals 3. Well, you can just go for Gargantua and fucking kill everything. Impact sucks, and it just, oh my god, it's not worth putting in any form of the deck at all. It's not worth it.
It can't work. It's too inconsistent. It's too situational.
It's too situational for anything.
That's another pro.
Dragon Shields make this deck OP. You don't even need White Dragon Shield. You just need 4 blues and maybe 2 greens, and that's easily enough to get by. It just works so well.
Another thing is, well, you should go over that.
Well, you have your green Dragon Shields. We all know those are easy to find. this and that, and you know when to use those, because everybody plays those in Dragon Ball. If you don't, I think there's something wrong. You have Blue Dragon Shield. Now, in some cases, you want to save those, even though it does get you the free gauge, it will negate that. With Dragon Knights, it's okay to use those as quick as possible. And just give me gauge. Give me gauge. That's all you need. Even though you have your Dragon Shields, yes, you have great defense without them. There's Dragon Knight Red Baron. He's a move monster, and he's pretty sizable. If you throw a Night Energy on him, which is Dragon Knight's Drago Energy, you can throw him up to 6,000 power, and that gets over some things. And it gets broken. It gets unbelievably broken. Your triple formation with him is practically safe.
And then there's other cards, of course, like your Geronimo. Imagine just Geronimo being in the center, and you just keep him going with his 7,000 defense, and then racking up his attack, and then he has double attack, soul guard. He can go in.
Late game, it's sort of grind game, but not exactly grind game. You get good, but you can easily run out of things. You could end up with no hand really fast, therefore going off the charge and draw that you get, and that could vary. Like, I could have 3 gauge, okay, I draw into Gargantua. I can't use this. I charge, and going off the very next card, I get Geronimo, the most broken card in Dragon Knights, and you're set for a little bit.
And I say a little bit just because he's just got Geronimo. There's Geronimo, there's Vlad Dracula, and there's a couple other cards that pay 1 gauge. This deck is pretty gauge heavy.
It's gauge heavy, but it's also easy to balance.
Yeah, it's easy to balance because of cards such as Maximilian, Quixote, Steelfist Dracoknuckle. Right. But Steelfist Dracoknuckle, they kind of make up for it. Like I say with Seeger, Seeger has, like, Ancient World has cards just like Dragon Knights that just get you gauge fast.
There's draw power plenty. If you're not drawing the cards, you're putting them straight into your gauge, so you burn through your deck pretty fast, but it's reasonable. There's a high monster count, and with these new monsters in set 3 that are at the Dragon Knights, but at the same time they're also their own archetype.
Yeah,
it just turns Dragon Knights into a size 1 rush. It's just go. Hey, you get a boost from another one. Go.
Extra crit powers, all that. They give each other more power. So the high monster count at the same time is a pro, at the same time it's a con. Right. Because with the high monster count, you're not going to see your spell, but your monsters are so good that just putting them out can make your opponent put in a bad position, because even with some cards that are weak, some of them do really useful things that get you advantage.
Like Geronimo, the broken card. It's double attack. It starts with 1,000, but you only put it out mid to late game, and for every Dragon Knight card in your graveyard, it just gets 1,000 more power and can ever grow. I think I have a record of 16,000, 17,000 power, and standard always 7,000 defense, so it's pretty damn good. And like we've gone over, it's gauge gaining. If you have Quixote, he's 2,000, 2 critical damage. He gives you another gauge whenever he deals damage. You throw Dragoknuckle on the same formation, then it's like you have 2 Quixotes. It just never gets better.
So pretty much
it just always gets better.
But
my fault.
I feel like the last con of this deck is when it comes to literally everything almost out of the size 3s, pretty much the entire deck is hit by almost every deck's removal. Ancient World can get rid of a good number of the size 1s. The size 2s are very even susceptible to Dragon Breath.
Dragon Breath can kill Nobunaga, that high crit monster, very easily.
Exactly. You can even kill Iamoto, the rest monster that lets you destroy monster, because he has 3,000 attack. So these cards, as much as they're good, they do have their flaws. But this deck overall is a really good deck based on the pros and con ratio. I say overall this deck is good. You might want to really pick up this deck, because lots of things in this deck aren't even expensive. Quixote maybe, and then maybe Geronimo, but Vlad, he's not that much. And then
Vlad is not that much, and he just gains a critical up to 6 for every Dragon Knight monster in the grave. It just sets up for Gargantua so fast.
Yes.
But you have to have a lot of gauge, so there's even trade-offs to make it balanced.
Yes, because it is 3 gauge. Once again, the gauge heaviness. But overall, the deck is really great, so you guys should really use it, or at least I would recommend you recommend it to your friends or anything like that. Hope you guys like this video. Subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. I am Jake from Team Burning Infinity. We all know this is Jalen. And thank you very much. Good night and good luck.